特別だからな。
ねえ。
ん？
吐かせて。なんでもない。
I was just stupid smiles all episode this week. Like I was just smiling like over and over and over all throughout the episode. And I think the reason why is Higashira is such a cool character. Like I like her so much because she's just so innocent. Like she is innocent, but yet she has this I don't want to call it bravado. She has this desire and this confidence that is misplaced confidence a little bit, but she's willing to go the extra mile to really show off for Mizuto and really like do whatever it takes, right? Like in this episode, we got a backstory for YUME and for Mizuto. And the backstory that we got was at some point a similar action, albeit in middle school and junior high, happened between those two to where they did start dating, and Mizuto invited Yume over just to do the same thing that Higashira came over for today, which was just to come hang out and read books. The difference between the two events is Mizuto at this point, although I'm sure there is some attraction level because, you know, Higashira is really cute and, you know, she's got big assets, that I'm sure there is some semi-attraction there. But because Mizuto is still so in love with Yume, he doesn't necessarily take the same precautions as he did with Yume. What I mean by that is when he invited Yume over, he did it innocently, you know, truly to come hang out and read books. But when he put some extra thought into it, you know, after Yume reacted the way she did, he was like, oh no, like two people dating, two people who like each other, you know, inviting somebody like that into my room, it's inviting other thoughts, or it's inviting other actions, you know, whether it be making out or more, you know, it's inviting those kinds of thoughts to enter both of their minds for it to be more than just hanging out and reading books. So when Higashira came over, although Mizuto knows that he likes her, he knows himself at this point, so he knows that he's not going to take that extra step. Now, albeit, he doesn't know if Higashira might attack him or something like that, but he still took that extra step because he's like, you know, this is my friend, you know, and I have this really cool friendship with her. She's bugging the crap out of me. Yeah, come over, whatever, right? So I love that kind of dynamic. Then we kind of look at the end of the episode, and you have Mizuto really thinking of, you know, he thinks of Higashira like, at this point, like Higashira is his best friend. He's thinking like, you know, I have this really awesome relationship with Higashira, right? So he's thinking like, oh, I have this really cool relationship with Higashira. He's thinking of like a best friend status almost. And he's wondering like, can I ever have this with Yume? And the short answer is because of their feelings, their strong feelings for each other. The answer is simply no. And he knows that and he feels a little disappointed by it. So I love seeing the vulnerability shown by Mizuto. Like every so often, like this, the writing shines through in what the anime is trying to convey based on what the writer was trying to convey. And I really felt like those feelings, I feel like all those feelings from Mizuto really came up and bubbled up. On the opposite side, you have Yume, this episode, still playing with fire, right? Like, you know, I do like that she was able to admit to Higashira, like, hey, we're friends too. And I think she genuinely meant that, which I think is cool because I think it is important for her to be friends with her future boyfriend, husband's friend. But I also think it's important for her to be friends so that she understands the girl who likes the guy he likes. You know, the girl who likes the guy that she likes, right? And that's her stepbrother too. So I think that's important as well. But I think she genuinely did mean like, hey, let's be friends. Like you and I are friends. Let's be friends kind of thing. But I do think she was playing with fire, you know, when they keep trying to build up Higashira for a date or to spend time or outfits, things like that. Like, I really do think that she's playing with fire, because the main thing isn't because they were dressing Higashira. It's because this episode she admitted to us, you know, the viewer, she admitted to us that she has been dressing in the way that Mizuto would want her to dress. Like, she's dressing the way Mizuto imagines his girlfriend dressing. And she's been dressing that way. And that's how she dresses. So this episode, she finally took a step out of that comfort zone to dress a little differently. But I think, again, playing with fire of, okay, now you're dressing Higashira to go hang out with the guy you like, no matter if that's, you know, ex-boyfriend, stepbrother, whatever. And then she's also admitting to herself that she's kind of been Mizuto's, like, perfectly imagined girlfriend still to this date. So I think she's just playing with emotional fire, and she just kind of needs to watch out. So I love this episode. I thought it was fantastic. I love that YUME forced herself in the room with Higashira and Mizuto. I love that she stayed there the entire time. I love that Mizuto didn't hold back, neither did Higashira. I love that Higashira was just all over his bed, and YUME would never do that, but Higashira doesn't give a F, so she's like, yeah. She's like, I asked for permission. I love that Mizuto was like, yo, don't get your stank all over my bed. I love that she was like, yo, massage me, and Mizuto complied. I loved that Higashira was, you know, she did the sock thing, like, hey, put on my socks, with YUME right in front of her. I love how she didn't stop being herself, or I love how they didn't stop being themselves, even though YUME was right there. What that did do, though, is that did make YUME very jealous, and she wanted some of that action, too, so she had Mizuto put on her socks. She took them off, you know, for him to put on her stockings. But I love how, between them both, the action of doing that was more, and it was different than when Mizuto does it for Higashira. And I love how he kind of just brushed up against her leg just for a second, and she was like, oh my god. You know, it's silly, and it's really cute, and I really do like it. Also, last thing I will say, because I forgot about this, I love the parents' reactions when Mizuto walks in with the girl. And I love how he doesn't acknowledge him at all. He's like, she's a friend, don't worry about it. And he just continues on. And I love how the parents ended up grilling her before she left the house. Overall, I think this was the best episode of My Stepmom's Ex. I think episode 1 was really good too, but I think this is like the second best episode of the season yet. Personally, I just really enjoyed it quite a bit. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comments below. I appreciate you guys being here, and let me know, who is best girl? Is it YUME? Is it Higashira? I'm a Higashira stan, but I know she's not going to win anyways. But you let me know, who do you prefer, really? All right, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.